Alright, welcome back to NewZeroland. So, a few months back when I unveiled this thing, I also mentioned in that video that we ordered a Cybertruck, and nobody seemed to care because the Energica was so exciting. But yeah, I put down my $100 and I want to talk about why. So this isn't really electric motorcycle related stuff, but it kind of is, so bear with me. By now the Cybertruck is old news, right? It was announced like a year ago. But after seeing the Rivian get tow charged in Long Way Up, I figure it's still the best option we have. And you guys have seen all the Cybertruck videos already, you know all the specs. It looks ridiculous, and I have no idea how I'm going to drive it on these narrow New Zealand roads without smashing into everything. But the idea of this truck is so perfect for what we want a vehicle to do, and so I want to break down exactly how we're going to use it. First off, it's electric. The end goal is to have only electric vehicles, and so for the times when we need to carry more groceries than fit on a Zero, 4 wheels would be good to have. Right now we just have this gas-powered Honda Fit, and it fits us really well. But it's not electric, and so it has no place in the cyberpunk future I want to live in. So you might say, why don't you convert it? You like the Honda Fit so much, make it electric. I've thought about converting a car before, and even if I use Tesla components, it still wouldn't be as good as a Tesla. We were looking at the Model 3, but we really need something bigger to haul stuff. And so maybe the Model Y, but then do you really want to fill up a fancy Tesla with green waste to take to the landfill? That and the Model Y just isn't as exciting. You know, it's still got that kind of whatever look of the Model 3. So we wanted something different. And the Cybertruck is as different as you can get. As everybody said, it's the concept car that could make it to production without being totally neutered because car companies are too afraid to take risks. Every time an awesome concept car comes out, it just gets smoothed over to fit in with the Toyota Camrys of the world. This time, it seems like this is what we'll get. I mean, at least we hope. I guess there's still some doubt that in New Zealand at least, it's not going to pass pedestrian safety because of the sharp edges, but how about pedestrians stay on the sidewalk and we won't have any problems? The thing that really sold us though and made us put down a deposit like the next day, which is related to electric motorcycles, was when the ATV rolled up into the bed and plugged in. Swap the ATV out for electric motorcycles and think about loading them up, driving them to the racetrack, charging up as we drive, and then in between track sessions you plug in the bikes to the truck to recharge. It's the dream! And then there's talk about the cover being a solar panel, and even add on solar panel wings that fold out. So if you park it outside, which it's not going to fit in a garage, right? It's charging up itself from the sun. And they say the solar panels could potentially charge up the battery enough to go 30 kilometers per day. And 30 kilometers is basically what we drive like 90% of the time. So imagine having an electric vehicle that you barely have to plug in. And if you can charge your bikes from it, that means you can do vehicle to home, which is just... Alright, check this out. So we've wanted to get solar installed in our house ever since we moved in. The price of solar has come way down. Like, you can get it installed for under $6,000 New Zealand, which is just crazy cheap. And that gives you the ability to create your own power. Having electric motorcycles, people are always asking, you know, where does your electricity come from? Just to try and discredit the whole eco-friendliness of electric vehicles. People trying to say that I'm burning coal to run my bike. But, I mean, in New Zealand, that conversation doesn't last long because over 80% of electricity is from renewable sources, but in a lot of the world it still does come from fossil fuels, and so if you have solar panels on your roof and that charges your bike, you know exactly where the power comes from. The sun. So we were actually pretty serious about this and called up a local company to see if we could get solar installed, and it turns out that our roof is the wrong kind of roof. They couldn't just bolt the panels to the roof because then they'd be drilling straight through, which then it would leak when it rains, and they couldn't use clamps because we're in a high wind zone. That sums up all of Wellington, really. But then the installation is not just the solar panels, right? You also need storage. So you need a big battery to store all the power during the day so you can use it at night. And that'll set you back $10,000. If you go with a Tesla Powerwall, it's even more. So either we spend thousands on a new roof for the house, and then thousands more for solar panels, and then thousands more on top of that for a battery, or we buy a mobile solar-powered battery on wheels. So the truck can do vehicle-to-home charging, so you plug it in when you're home, it powers your house, and then when you leave, you take the whole solar panel battery thing with you. Right? And then there's the whole camping idea, exploring all over the country and sleeping in the back, driving off-road. Of course, dual-motor all-wheel drive is the only way to go. It's just this ultimate thing that ticks more boxes than any other vehicle can. So those are my thoughts on the Cybertruck. I think it looks crazy. Jen loves trucks. We're both huge fans of Tesla, obviously. And so if it ever actually makes it to New Zealand, expect some cool videos. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.